So the Samson Meteor Mic USB microphone, a condenser that was launched in 2010. 11 years right now, is this still worth a buy? Today I'm going to unbox this for you, record on this and show you the sound quality and tell you if this is something that you want to buy. So really quick, I'm just going to unbox this and show you what's inside. Okay, so it's really simple. You can see that the box really gives you nothing else than go. Just gonna open it, and we have the microphone like that. Now let's talk about the microphone. Inside the box, you only have your cables and a carrying pouch, but this is the microphone that we want to look at, right? So on the first glance, you have your stands, which you can use, and this is more aimed toward podcasters, voiceovers, and also people who do, well, digital meetings and, well, Zoom and all that, right? So in front, you can see that we have a mute button and also an LED that tells us if the mic is working, clipping or whatnot. So if the LED turns red, then that's clipping. If it's blue, then it's working, right? If you click on the middle mute button, it will turn yellow. Now on the back, this is where we have our headphone outs for us, a monitor, and we also have a USB. That's where you actually jack in your microphone to your computer. Alright, now in my test, this also works with an iOS phone and Android phone as well. So something that you might want to consider if you want a condenser microphone for your mobile devices, right? Now on the back side here, you can see that we have a slot for a microphone. So what I'm going to do today is really simple. I'm just going to mount this on a microphone stand and show you its quality. So right now, I'm in a very echoey room right now. I'm using a pop shield reflection filter to filter out some of the echoes that you hear in this room. So it goes on like this. Okay, I'm going to screw it on the microphone stand here. Right, something like this. Okay, so I'm going to connect this to my computer using a standard USB cable. So here are the USB cable. One end goes behind the microphone, which is here. I'm going to plug it in. So one thing I don't really like about the microphone is you can see that this is very near its stand. So you can see it's actually pushing up the USB microphone. I actually had one unit destroyed because this was bent too far above to hurt that USB cable right there. Something to note if you're using the microphone. Okay, now the other end would then go into my computer. So I'm just plugging in the USB right here. And within your computer, you want to actually set up the sound inputs within your sound preferences or sound settings within Windows, right? So take note that the volume of the microphone comes from your control panel, not the device itself. So I'm going to turn up a suitable input here. You can see that if I change it to Samson Meteor, right, we can set up the input volume. And I'm going to go to Audition and make sure that I set this up as an input as well. Alright, all good? I'm going to hit record and show you how this sounds. Alright. So I'm speaking into the Samson Meteor Mic right now, and this is its sound. What do you think of its sound, and do you think this is still a relevant buy in 2021? Now keep in mind that I'm recording in a very echoey room, and if you're using a reflection filter like this, you want to make sure that behind you is also padded because the microphone picks up sound from behind you, not behind here. Alright, so keep that in mind. Now you can see if it's clipping, if the mic is clipping, the LED will turn red in color, right? That tells you if you're clipping and you're hitting the hot levels of the microphone. You can also use the headphone behind for direct monitoring. So if you use a headphone here, what you're listening to is directly from the microphone itself. So you're listening to your voice in real time. So who should buy the Samson Meteor Mic, and do I think this is something that is still relevant in 2021? Well, I think this is relevant for people who are in the podcasting, Zoom meetings and also digital meetings, but not so much for musicians who want to record guitars, pianos and drums. Yeah, but all in all, it's a very inexpensive microphone. Probably costs you about $69 on Amazon, and this is a great USB mic to carry around. Keeping in mind that it's really small, and you can basically just carry this in your bag and take it anywhere with you. Yeah. Now, one more thing before I go off in this video is that when you use this as a desktop microphone, right, on your table, and if you are sitting down, it might be a bit too low for your level of your mouth here. So what I found is you can tilt it like this so it points to your mouth, but it's still a little bit too low for my liking. So if you use this as a microphone with your computer, you probably want to use, a stand to lift it up the table. So anyway, let me know what you think about the Samson Meteor Mic, and love to hear from your comments. See you next time. Remember to subscribe.